Hello, lovely people. It's great to see you back again. Today we are going to continue reading the Bible. Isn't that great? I am excited. How about you? Last time we stopped at the end of the first chapter, a little bit into the second chapter. And today we are going to read the chapters 2 and 3. So, without further ado, let's just jump into reading the Bible, chapter 2! Woohoo! Okay, let's read on. Der Anfang der Geschichte. Es folgt eine Detailschilderung der Geschichte von Himmel und Erde, wie Gott sie geschaffen hat. Als Jahwe Gott Himmel und Erde machte, gab es zunächst weder Sträucher noch Feldpflanzen auf dem Erdboden, denn Jahwe Gott hatte es noch nicht regnen lassen. Es gab auch noch keinen Menschen, der das Land bearbeiten konnte. Grundwasser stieg in der Erde auf und befeuchtete den Boden. Dann formte Jahwe Gott den Menschen aus loser Erde vom Ackerboden und hauchte Lebensatem in sein Gesicht. So wurde der Mensch ein lebendes Wesen. Nun hatte Jahwe Gott im Osten, in Eden, einen Garten angelegt. Dorthin versetzte er den von ihm gebildeten Menschen. Aus dem Erdboden hatte er verschiedenartige Bäume wachsen lassen. Sie sahen prachtvoll aus und trugen wohlschmeckende Früchte. Mitten im Garten stand der Baum des Lebens und der Baum, der Gut und Böse erkennen ließ. In Eden entsprang auch ein Strom, der den Garten bewässerte und sich dann in 4 Arme teilte. Der erste davon heißt Pishon. Er umfließt das ganze Land Havila, wo das Gold vorkommt. Das Gold dieses Landes ist besonders rein. Das Bedolachharz und der Schohamstein. Der zweite Strom heißt Gihon. Er umfließt das Land Kusch. Der dritte Strom heißt Tigris. Er fließt östlich von Assyrien. Der vierte Strom ist der Euphrat. Jahwe Gott brachte also den Menschen in den Garten Eden, damit er diesen bearbeite und beschütze, und wies ihn an: Von allen Bäumen im Garten sollst du nach Belieben essen, nur nicht von dem Baum, der dich Gut und Böse erkennen lässt. Sobald du davon isst, musst du sterben. Dann sagte Jahwe Gott: Es ist nicht gut, dass der Mensch so allein ist. Ich will ihm eine Hilfe machen, die ihm genau entspricht. Jahwe Gott hatte nämlich alle Landtiere und Vögel, die er aus dem Erdboden geformt hatte, zum Menschen gebracht, um zu sehen, wie er sie nennen würde. Genau so sollten all die Lebewesen dann heißen. So hatte der Mensch dem Herdenvieh, den Vögeln und allen Landtieren Namen gegeben. Aber für sich selbst fand er nichts, was ihm als Hilfe entsprochen hätte. Da ließ Jahwe Gott einen Tiefschlaf über den Menschen kommen. Er nahm eine seiner beiden Seiten heraus und verschloss die Stelle mit Fleisch. Aus der herausgenommenen Seite baute Jahwe Gott eine Frau und brachte sie zum Menschen. Da rief der Mensch: Diesmal ist sie es. Sie ist genau wie ich und sie gehört zu mir. Sie ist ein Stück von mir. Sie soll Ischa heißen, Frau, denn sie kam vom Isch, den Mann. Aus diesem Grund verlässt ein Mann seinen Vater und seine Mutter, verbindet sich mit seiner Frau und wird völlig eins mit ihr. Der Mann und seine Frau waren nackt, aber sie schämten sich nicht voreinander. Kapitel 3: Die erste Sünde und ihre Folgen. Die Schlange war listiger als all die Tiere, die Jahwe Gott gemacht hatte. Sie fragte die Frau: Hat Gott wirklich gesagt, dass ihr von keinem Baum im Garten essen dürft? Natürlich essen wir von den Früchten, entgegnete die Frau. Nur von den Früchten des Baumes in der Mitte des Gartens, hat Gott gesagt. Davon dürft ihr nicht essen, sie nicht einmal berühren, sonst müsst ihr sterben. Sterben? Widersprach die Schlange. Sterben werdet ihr nicht. Aber Gott weiß genau, dass euch die Augen aufgehen, wenn ihr davon esst. Ihr werdet wissen, was gut und böse ist, und werdet sein wie Gott. Als die Frau nun sah, wie gut von dem Baum zu essen wäre, was für eine Augenweide er war und wie viel Einsicht er versprach, da nahm sie eine Frucht und aß. Sie gab auch ihrem Mann davon, der neben ihr stand. Auch er aß. Da gingen beiden die Augen auf. Sie merkten auf einmal, dass sie nackt waren. Deshalb machten sie sich Lendenschurze aus zusammengehefteten Feigenblättern. Am Abend, als es kühler wurde, hörten sie Jahwe Gott durch den Garten gehen. Da versteckten sich der Mann und seine Frau vor Jahwe Gott zwischen den Bäumen. Doch Jahwe Gott rief den Menschen: »Wo bist du?« Der antwortete: »Ich hörte dich durch den Garten gehen und bekam Angst, weil ich nackt bin. Deshalb habe ich mich versteckt.« »Wer hat dir gesagt, dass du nackt bist?« fragte Gott. »Hast du etwa von dem verbotenen Baum gegessen?« Der Mensch erwiderte: »Die Frau, die du mir zur Seite gestellt hast, gab mir etwas davon. Da habe ich gegessen.« »Was hast du da getan?« fragte Jahwe Gott die Frau. »Die Schlange hat mich verführt«, entgegnete sie. Da sagte Jahwe Gott zur Schlange: »Weil du das getan hast, sei mehr verflucht als alles Herdenvieh und mehr als alle wilden Tiere. Kriech auf den Bauch und schlucke Staub dein Leben lang. Ich stelle Feindschaft zwischen dich und die Frau, deinem Nachwuchs und ihrem. Er wird dir den Kopf zertreten und du wirst ihm die Ferse zerbeißen.« Zur Frau sagte er: »Viele Unannehmlichkeiten werden über dich kommen und die Beschwerden deiner Schwangerschaft. Mit Schmerzen wirst du Kinder gebären. Dein Verlangen wird sein, deinen Mann zu besitzen, doch er wird herrschen über dich.« Zu Adam sagte er: »Weil du auf deine Frau gehört und von dem Baum gegessen hast, obwohl ich dir das ausdrücklich verboten habe, vernimm das Folgende. Deinetwegen sei der Acker verflucht. Um dich von ihm zu ernähren, musst du dich lebenslang mühen. Dornen und Disteln werden dort wachsen, doch bietet er dir auch Frucht. Mit Schweiß wirst du dein Brot verdienen, bis du zurückkehrst zur Erde, von der du genommen bist. Denn Staub bist du, und zu Staub wirst du werden.« Adam gab seiner Frau den Namen Eva, Leben, denn sie sollte die Mutter aller lebenden Menschen werden. Dann bekleidete Jahwe Gott Adam und seine Frau mit Gewändern aus Fell und sagte: »Nun ist der Mensch wie einer von uns geworden. Er erkennt Gut und Böse. Auf keinen Fall darf er jetzt auch noch vom Baum des Lebens essen, um ewig zu leben.« Deshalb schickte Jahwe Gott ihn aus dem Garten Eden hinaus. Er sollte den Ackerboden bearbeiten, von dem er genommen war. So vertrieb er den Menschen. Östlich vom Garten Eden stellte er die Cherubim auf, dazu eine flammende, umherwirbelnde Klinge, um den Weg zum Baum des Lebens zu bewachen. Wow. I need a break. So, in the first chapter, we had the creation of this world, and by that I don't only mean the planet Earth, but everything. Everything we live in, with all its wonders, with all its vastness of space, with all its magnitude of living creatures, with all this huge amount of life forms on this single planet. This single planet where, from as far as people know nowadays, its condition is one of the apparently unlikeliest to happen, in all the universe. Just that life can live and exist on this planet and in the universe seems in this form to be only possible on Earth. We have the right distance to the sun, that it doesn't burn it up, or that it's too far away, that it's too cold. We have the right amount of protection around the planet, the atmosphere. We have the moon, which is, I could say, bombed from all the asteroids and all the debris flying around in space. It's kind of a protection for Earth and the light. And then when you look, God just created everything and is just enjoying it and is happy about it, and he is happy spending time with his creation, with the man and the woman he just created. And then there's that huge break of trust. There's this huge betrayal. And while reading, I couldn't read it in an angry manner, God's parts, where he speaks to the man, the woman, and the snake. It's more like he's really sad. As they say nowadays, you had one thing to do. One thing. It was the only thing. He didn't say anything else that they shouldn't do. He just said, don't eat from the tree. There's so many trees with delicious food around it. You do not need to eat from this tree. You shall not eat from this tree. But look around you. There's so many things I have made for you to enjoy. And for a long time, the man and the woman, Adam and Eve, didn't. I don't know if they even considered. Probably not. Because they were probably roaming around the garden and discovering. Like, okay, imagine you being the first person ever on a new planet. Of course you go around discovering. Wow, look at that plant. It's like rolled up together. Wow, look at that tree. It's so huge. Wonder if I can climb it. Look at that butterfly. It is so beautiful. The colors. Oh my God, it's such a bright blue, and you're just amazed by everything that you see. And probably every day you explore and you find something new. I mean, look at creation outside right now. If you really take the time and go outside and go into nature, into the forest, and you see more life forms on the ground, in the ground. You see all different kinds of plants, of grass, of flowers. You see all different kinds of trees. Tannen, Fichten, Apfelbäume, Birnbäume, all the different kinds of trees. Let's see how it came to that betrayal. Before we look at it, something first, because there are quite some misunderstandings about this part. Because many people claim that those two stories, the one in the first chapter with the 7 days and the one starting in the second chapter, are two different stories of creation. They are not. From what I learned, since this is a Jewish book, in that culture it is normal to first tell the big story, so to say. So like, okay, we're gonna look at Earth, and then we're gonna zoom in at one point and look at what's happening there right now. So I can talk about the Earth, and then zoom in and talk about what's happening in Los Angeles, or what's happening in some small town in Alaska. And it's like this. You first have the story, okay, God created everything in 6 days and rested on the 7th day. And then you zoom in at a certain point during this creation process and you look at it now. It's like you get out your looking glass and look at the part. And there it is, that it must have been the 6th day when God created man. God had created this garden in Eden. And in German there's a footnote on Eden here that Eden means joy, Wonne. That God created a land of joy for man. And God creates man from the ground. That is something that we are confronted with daily. That although when we are born we come out of the womb of our mother, when we die, our flesh turns back to dust. It rots and becomes one with the earth. So God creates this wonderful place called Garden Eden nowadays. And there he puts man, this man he created. And he's got all the trees there with all the plants and the fruits, and it says they all looked great and they all had really delicious fruit. Delicious. So like, okay, go around, take that one, I'm gonna take that one, and just gonna combine them and eat them together. Oh, it's had to be great. And there's 2 trees in the middle of the garden. One is the tree of life and one is the tree that lets you know good and evil. There were rivers, so you can go take a bath, you can just play in the water, rest your feet when there's really hot weather. Wonderful. I love rivers. I love rivers. And then let's take that pin from the first chapter of this ruling and put it in here, because here in Genesis 2 verse 15, Jahwe Gott brachte also den Menschen in den Garten Eden, damit diesen bearbeite und beschütze. God brought man into the garden to work on it and to guard it. So when he says, you shall rule over my creation, it means you shall work with it and you shall protect it. He said nothing about exploiting it or destroying it. Not in the least. You're there to work with it and to protect it. Yeah. Then God takes all the animals to the man he created and is like, okay, name them. Let's see what you name them. I saw a comment on this which was kind of making fun of it. Of course you can make fun of it. That, well, man was just low life kinda because he wasn't evolved yet. I don't know. But at this point, remember what God said about creating man? Let's create man and make them in our picture. God created man in his image. Man can create. So mankind has a lot of traits that are divine, like creating something. Just like God just did. He created the world and now he creates man and he places certain traits of him into his creation, which sets them apart from everything he created before, from all the animals. That's why man is such an important life form on this planet. He is created in the image of God. I just leave it there right now. We just started reading the Bible. It will come up later again. If I forget saying something about it, please just remind me. The comments below are always open for you. So, when God asks the man to name the animals, he has already given him the capability to do so. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done that. Come on. Who would ask a newborn to name all the animals of the world. Da da, va va va. Eh. Really? No. Adam was fully able to speak. He was fully able to think. He had God's traits in him. He was able to create something. He was able to come up with a proper name. Here's this one part about, okay, now first it's just man and God. And God is like, okay, it's not good that he's all alone. I mean, I'm around, yes, but like all the animals, he needs someone for him too. Among the animals, there was nothing. There was no one who would be able to take that part. And so God says, fall asleep, and I'm gonna make you someone special. Ta-da! I made you a woman! And you fit together because you belong together. This is one of the parts that is read at weddings quite a lot. This is why a man leaves his father and mother and becomes one with his wife. So now we have God, animals, world, man, woman, and they're all happy. Happy, 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 happy. And man, woman, naked. Not like nowadays in the cultivated parts of this planet, everyone wearing clothing. Nope. Just your skin. And everything you really have. But they were not ashamed. They were not ashamed. And then the betrayal happens. The snake is a picture of Satan. He probably used the snake. I am in no position to discuss this really. I never studied any theology or something. But as far as I know, snake is a picture throughout the Bible of the devil. Of the one who does not want that God's work stays good. He wants to destroy everything God makes. And he's like, okay, hey, is it really true you may not eat any of the fruits here? Yeah, you're gonna starve. And the woman is like, no, of course we may eat. Just there's one tree we may not eat from. We may not even touch it. Okay, God never said that. Come on. So they are both like saying too much. And then the snake is like, yeah, you will not die. You will just be like God. And that's something that hits home. That's something that stayed until now, ages later. You will be like God. When you do this, you will be like God. God is still a superior being to Adam and Eve, and they know it. And until then, they didn't have a problem with it. I mean, when it says in the evening when it gets cooler, they hear God walking through the garden. They probably were walking every day with him and talking and spending time together. They never had a problem until now with that. And now that someone comes and is like, well, you can be like God. How would that be? Be like God. They're like, why not? Why not? And from that, why not? You take a closer look and you see, oh, that really looks good. That really looks good. I don't know, there's a tree over there who's also having good, nice, delicious fruit. I ate from it quite a lot, but this really looks good. It's, yeah, no, God forbid it, but this really looks good. And they did the only thing that God said don't. And then they realized they were naked. I'm not really sure about what good and evil, knowing good and evil has to do with realizing you're naked. So God comes and they hide. They hide themselves, they try to cover themselves up with leaves. And you can see in all the pretty or not so pretty pictures drawings, paintings, and churches and stuff. And he calls them, Adam, where are you? He already knew what was happening, and yet he didn't come in rushing, angry, burning everything down in his wrath. You have disobeyed my one order! You're gonna die! I'm gonna kill you now! No. He comes just as usual. He walks in the garden. He looks for Adam. Adam, where are you? Adam, where are you? Where are you? I guess he was calling them both. And then Adam speaks up. I hid because I was afraid. Why? Because I'm naked. I told you that you eat from that fruit. And then that's also something still very present in us humans. We start not responding by realizing, yes, I screwed up. I screwed up. I am sorry. No. We blame the next person. We just blame the next person. The woman, you gave me, she gave me, and I ate. So, okay, we're not only blaming Eve, we're also blaming God. You gave me that woman. Come on, it's your fault. You should have seen that coming. Then God is like, why did you do that? And she's like, the snake. The snake tempted me. And I saw it was looking good, and no, I didn't say, no, I'm not gonna eat it. And the snake! Yeah, they were all involved. But none of them got the guts to say, yes, I am sorry, I screwed up. Everyone is just shifting the blame. And it's not like God is mean. He had told them the consequences it would have to eat from this tree. You shall die. Now, why did they not fall down dead when they ate it? Because he didn't mean the physical death. He meant the spiritual death. Or maybe he meant the death that will come sooner. I don't know, since it's not written in this book. We don't know how long Adam and Eve would have lived if they had not eaten from the tree. But apparently at one point they did die. And from this point on, they also were separated from the source of life. They were separated from God. And when you're separated from the source of life, you die. There's so much in this... These 2 chapters, there is so much, and I'm trying to cut it short on just a few things. So God tells them what's gonna happen now that they went against this one thing they were not supposed to do, and he kicks them out of the garden. I don't think he liked doing that. I think he was really, really, really sad. It's one thing to be omniscient, so to know everything, and another to experience it. Imagine yourself, you know your friend is probably gonna tell your secret to someone else. You know it because he is just this kind of person. But then when he really does, it hurts. It breaks your trust. I think it's just the same here. So, today we end on God kicking man out of the garden. Heavy stuff. Heavy stuff. So everyone, thank you for joining in today and reading the Bible with me, and also listening to my thoughts on what we just read. And if you have any questions, just write them down in the comments. And if you have any remarks, if you want to share your thoughts on what you read, on what you think about it, just share them with us. Just please keep it in a family-friendly tone. So, I'm looking forward to next time when you join me in reading the Bible. And so far, I think it's quite a cool idea. What do you think? Tell me. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Until then, God bless you, take care, and goodbye. Nico out. Yeah. Okay, come here, Morley. This is Morley. She's one of my first stuffed little ones. And she was helping me today with the recording because she was holding it. So thank you really much, Molly.